Side note, when I went to start my YouTube channel, I told my sister Vero, I told her, you know what? I just love Dr. Fung. I've learned so much from him. I would love for him to be on my, on my YouTube video, one day. And she just laughed. She just started laughing. And I was like, that's mean. Why are you laughing? I want to write it in my journal for calories. And it just got very time consuming. And I would serve myself and then weigh it. And I was like, I just want to eat the food. Hi, everybody. Thank you for making time for yourself today. Today, I'm going to talk about the famous Dr. Jason Fung and the tips that I've learned from him and how I incorporate them into my lifestyle. So if you're ready, vamos! Let's begin. I'm Yoli, a blessed mom of 3 and a wife, and this is my intermittent fasting journey, and I would love to inspire you and ask you to come along in the journey with laughter along the way, because I believe that laughter heals. And also, I do want to say that I'm not a doctor nor a nutritionist. Okay, so please consult your doctor before trying fasting. And we're going to start with Dr. Fung's first tip. What is fasting? So I have my notes here to explain what Dr. Fung says fasting is. So he explains that fasting isn't a diet, it's a pattern of eating. He says fasting is simply the absence of food. You're not saying what to eat. You're just choosing when to eat. Choosing, very important. So, and that helped me so much realize, because I was obsessing over counting calories. And so choosing when to eat makes a huge difference. Back when I counted calories, it was very frustrating because like my husband cooks, others cook, and I wanted to eat the food, but I always thought, I wonder how many calories that is. I want to write it in my journal. And it just got very time consuming, and I would serve myself and then weigh it, and I was like, I just want to eat the food. Thank God for Dr. Fung that he says it's important to stress the when, not what. Eventually, yes, the what, but when is the focus. When I fast, I do the 16-8 method, which is I fast 16 hours and I eat 8. And so for me right now, it's summertime for me here in California. And so what I do is I have my last meal at 7 p.m. And the following day, I skip breakfast and I just drink my water with sometimes some sea salt and my black coffee. And then what I do is at 11, I break my fast, with coffee and of course the creamer that I miss. And I have for breakfast maybe some scrambled eggs, some spinach, avocado, and I'm Mexican, so I love my corn tortillas. I have 2 corn tortillas. And so that's my cycle. And so that's what I've been doing these past, 2 weeks. If you saw my previous video, I had shared that I was very successful with fasting back in 2022. I had a great experience. I had a flat tummy. My energy was great. I have shared that I suffer from migraines, and so I noticed that I didn't have that many migraines. And then I got to thinking the other day, if I was so successful that whole year with intermittent fasting, because I was doing the 16-8 method, which is where I would fast for 16 hours, so not eat, and I would eat for 8 hours. And so I was very successful, and I got to thinking, why did I stop? And then I remembered I wanted to try just a different diet, and I tried veganism, or plant-based eating, and I started gaining weight, and maybe it's also because, I didn't really choose the healthiest, vegan food. So the when was very important. Again, back to what Dr. Fung says, it's the when about fasting, taking a break from food. And so then also what I was thinking is, so it doesn't matter what diet you choose, like, veganism, vegetarian, paleo, carnivore. It's not the what, it's the when. The timing is the most important. And also I remember that back in 2022 when I did intermittent fasting, but then I stopped because I wanted to try veganism. I remember that I was eating all day. So I was doing the opposite of what I'm doing now. I was eating 16 hours and fasting 8, which Dr. Fung also has said in some of his videos, that's how most Americans eat, and even, from other countries, which is, my daughter would say, sad day. So I believe Dr. Fung is so smart because he stresses the when, which is so important when it comes to fasting. And side note, when I went to start my YouTube channel, I told my sister Vero, I told her, you know what? I just love Dr. Fung. I've learned so much from him. I would love for him to be on my, on my YouTube video, one day. And she just laughed. She just started laughing. And I was like, that's mean. Why are you laughing? And then she says, no, I'm sorry, sis. Like, yeah, maybe one day. And I was like, dream big, right? When we were young, our parents would tell us, dream big. And, now I'm 51. I still want to dream big, so let's dream together, fasting friends. So dream along with me. So before we go to tip number 2, I want to remind you, what does Dr. Fung say? What does he say? He says, fasting is not what to eat. Fasting is, you got it, when to eat. Fast learners. Kiss your brain. That's the teacher in me. Dr. Fung's tip number 2 is hunger is normal at first. So he says it's completely normal to feel hungry when you first begin to fast. So I know hunger is coming, so I prepare. So what I like to do is, for example, this summer I had like 2 projects. I was like, I need to clean my laundry room and I need to clean up my pantry. So on a Friday morning during my fasting window, I started cleaning my laundry room. And I got into it and I didn't want to stop till it was complete. And I actually not only fasted 16 hours, I fasted 17 hours. So that inspired me. So the following day, which was a Saturday morning, I began the project of cleaning out my pantry. And again, I went over my 16 hours. Dr. Fung also says that when you get hungry, it's a good idea to exercise. You'll get your mind out of the hunger. So when I get hungry, sometimes I walk, but I really love to dance. We got this from our mother. So she loves dancing cumbias. We all love dancing cumbias, me and my sisters. And so I put on some music and I dance some cumbias, and cumbias are a staple of Latin music. So I really enjoy it, and I don't even think about eating. I just want to enjoy the movement and have fun. Another way that I keep busy is by watching YouTube videos on fasting, like Dr. Mindy, Pelz, or of course Dr. Fung, and other YouTubers that talk about fasting. It motivates me and reminds me why I want to fast, why I want to continue this journey. And so I invite you to find what works for you. Whatever you love to do, that's going to keep you from thinking about food, about your hunger, and you're going to be more successful. And on top of feeling hungry, Dr. Fung also says you might get headaches or you might feel dizzy. And that happens because as you fast, your body flushes out water and salt. And so it can often lead to, low electrolytes. And so it's a good idea to, replenish it. Like for example, I use Alimenty, which is a packet that has sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and it really helps me during my fasting window. And again, hopefully they're watching one day. Maybe they might sponsor me. Remember, dream big. So fasting tip 3 from Dr. Fung is that he says that fasting is flexible. And he likes to remind us that there's no one size fits all when it comes to fasting. It depends on your preference. You're just starting out, try a 12-12 or 13 hours or 14. When I started out, I tried a 12, and I went 13, 14. Now, last 2 weeks, I've been doing a 16-8, fasting 16 hours, eating 8. And it's flexible, and the beauty of fasting is because it is flexible based on your schedule. Like if I know in the evening I'm invited to a party, I'm going to fast earlier, so that I can eat and enjoy, the company, or my family, whatever party I'm going to. So keep that in mind. That's why fasting is different from a diet. Remember, it's when, not what. And I wanted to add to fasting is flexible, because if you can't make the fasting work with your schedule, then it's not going to work for your lifestyle. So you have to make it work within your schedule, and you'll be successful. 4, fasting is not starvation. So it's voluntarily, where starvation is not voluntarily. In the past, when I've told people that I'm gonna begin fasting, they said like, "Oh no, you're gonna pass out. You're gonna get very sick," because we always hear that eating frequently is good for our body, and it's not. It's not good for our body because we don't give our body time to rest and heal within. Because when we fast, remember what Dr. Fung says is that we tap into our fat store, right? Our storage of fat, and what all that is stored calories that we didn't burn off during the day. And remember, when you tap into your fat storage consistently, which means fasting often, you're able to lose fat, lose inches. Like me, I've noticed I'm losing weight, and sometimes the scale doesn't show. So don't just get hung up on the scale. And it's inches. My jeans feel better. My blouse feels a little looser. My belt buckle maybe goes in the next little hole. And so those are like little mini wins. So don't just focus on the scale, with what I advise you also. And anybody's goal that their goal is to lose weight, I mean, that's what they want to hear. They're losing weight, they're losing inches. And remember my previous video where I always like to visualize that, when I'm fasting, a Pac-Man that is eating my belly fat. And, it's encouraging. And what I noticed with fasting over anything else I've tried is my tummy starts shrinking. It gets flatter, which is amazing. And I would get a lot of compliments back in 2022, and I'm starting to notice it's getting flatter little by little also. And so, like I said, don't just focus on the scale. Look at the little mini wins. And remember also from my last video, my sunglasses fit me. They didn't used to fit me, and now they fit me. So inches, weight from your head, arms, legs, toes, fingers. So those are the mini wins. So again, don't focus on the scale, because I hear a lot of people just say, the scale won't budge, the scale, but just look at your clothes for inspiration too. Hopefully you loved it and it really helped you. And if you're serious about it, continue to watch my channel, continue to watch Dr. Fung, and I will link his beginner YouTube videos at the bottom, and so that you can also be successful and join. And I also want to add, let me know in the comments, have you watched Dr. Fung's videos? What is your biggest struggle or challenge with fasting? And what questions do you have? So, I can help and answer those, address those questions or struggles. And don't forget, you're not alone. So hit that subscribe button so you can follow with me on my journey. And let's heal one fast at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget to laugh, because laughter also heals. And salud to your health at Fast with Yoli.
Candidata Ingrid, Arriola ya llegó, la sexta región con fervor la abrazó. O'Higgins pide el